of the.
Thank you so much for having me today with this important conversation. Super grateful.
Yeah, so why is there a stigma around mental health to begin with?
Well, stigmas really are about things that we see as different from us. And like anything different, we often fear it. And mental health conditions for the longest time has always been portrayed as, the crazy person or the person that's dangerous or violent. And so we grew up around thinking that. And now more and more people are experiencing symptoms of mental health conditions. And so this stigma now of others is now becoming more about us and learning to accept this about us.
Okay. And I know one of the ways to destigmatize mental health conditions, you say anyhow, is to shift the shame that we feel around it.
Absolutely. I think it's really hard to shift the stigma in society when we as ourselves are our biggest judges. So especially if you are someone that has a mental health condition, not only are you hearing it from the outside world, but we're the biggest judge in the room. So it really is about how can we learn to accept and embrace and normalize this part of ourselves, because then we can end up shifting the way that we look at it and getting the support that we need.
All right, next you say that education is key.
Absolutely. Education, like anything, knowledge is power. And so when we learn to understand what mental health really looks like and the conditions, when we know the risks, when we know the triggers, when we know the signs, we feel empowered and we also feel less alone. So learning more about it is key to being able to shift the shame around it.
And you also say to share your truth.
Yes. I think I know we release the shackles that we put around ourselves when we are willing to share that we're going through it. I mean, 1 in 4 or 5 right now have mental health conditions. And so the more that we talk openly about it, again, we feel less alone. It's part of my experience as a professional speaker, as an author, to talk about and share my journey with mental health.
Yeah, you're talking about where the worst judge or critics are ourselves, and I guess that's what you mean by reframe your inner dialogue.
Oh yeah, like we all have this narrative, this inner dialogue that goes on and on and on, and it could be positive or it can be negative. And so it's first about becoming aware of that voice. What is that voice saying to you? And often you hear people say, well, I'm not going to deceive and lie to myself. I'm not going to suppress what it is that I'm feeling. But it's not about that. It's about shifting your perspective about it. It's about changing your language, the ways that you speak to yourself and the things that you say. So it could be something as simple as saying, I can't to I can. It's about not using things like always and never to, form the way that you think. So it's really just about taking note of the way you speak to yourself and shifting that.
Yeah, oh, I like that. Also, you say, connect with your body.
Yeah, I mean, there's no better way to get out of your minds than literally to get in your body. And that can look like doing breath work, which we all know that completely calms our nervous system. It looks like just what you're showing, wrapping your arms around yourself, nurturing touch. That releases all of the happy chemicals in our brain. It makes us feel better. Taking a walk, being, aware of your senses. So really just about getting out of your head and into your body.
All right, and finally, real quick, filter your personal feed.
Yes, so we have our social feeds online, which we should be filtering those out, only surrounding ourselves and having things that support and lift us, that lift our moods. And it's also about the people in our personal lives too, our real lives. So who are you supporting? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Who is supporting you? Who is not? Making sure that what you're consuming does not consume you.
All right, some great tips of how to get yourself happier with your life and in life. Sherry, thank you. And Sherry's book, Love Yourself Happy, is available now. And for more information, just go to her website. And for her tips, you can follow her on Instagram.